Good evening and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show. Hello, Happy New Year, and I hope everyone had lovely holidays. So it's almost surreal to be back among you. It was nice to have some time off, but it's also nice to be here doing the live show again and checking in with everyone who I see is here. It looks like the usual cast of characters are all here. I'm very happy to see that everyone has made it back after these. How many weeks has it been? 2, 3 weeks away, whatever it's been. Wow. And so much has happened, hasn't it? Here we are in January, already a week in. Who would have thought? But so anyway, this is indeed our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling, just about everything and anything that's going to keep you inspired. Inspiration is the name of the game. And we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. We're going to talk a lot about the year ahead and how we look at things. Scott Lasky says, HJ, congrats on 20K. Thank you, Scott. Who would have thought we reached the 20,000 milestone over New Year's Day. Pretty amazing. Would have never expected that. So thank you to each and every one of you who tune in to all the different videos. It's not easy to grow on YouTube. YouTube is a challenge. If you don't pay them for members, not members, for people to subscribe, which they like when you do that. It's hard to grow organically. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. And especially when you have a channel like ours, which is always doing something different. YouTube likes conformity. They like the same thing over and over again. That's what helps the channel grow, believe it or not. But that's what YouTube likes. Marcus Souza, nice to see you back. Happy New Year. $20 super chat. Saying Happy New Year, Tim. That's me. So thank you, my friend Marcus. Nice to see you. So JR Diaz, thank you for the generous support, Marcus. JR Diaz says 20,000 is akin to a small stadium. It is indeed, and it's kind of humbling, to be honest, guys. I mean, when 20,000 people put their faith in you to entertain them on a regular basis, that means a lot. It really does. And as I said, I think each and every one is hard thought. I'm having a hard time tonight. Hard thought. Always had trouble with my THs, even when they're not in a word. I just put it there. But yeah, I'm very happy about that. And there are a lot of really fun stuff ahead, which we can talk a little bit about too. Definitely. So, okay. Let's see what else we have to tell you tonight. I would show you which pen I'm using, but I forgot to bring it with me. I left it in the other room, and it's been the Waterman Quran. I've been really into that fountain pen, but I do have my, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold, so forgive my voice. This is a Waterman Phileas. Lovely, charming pen. I've been keeping on my desk because it's tough, and I can. Excuse me. It's a tough pen. It's made out of plastic, but you'd never know in looking at it. It's very Art Deco. Has a bit of vintage styling about it. Looks like it came out of the 1930s and not the 1990s. But a very fun pen for many of us. This was our first love. And we never forget our first loves. And this is indeed a pen worthy of our affections. It was kind of the TWSBI of its day. A very inexpensive pen that punched much higher than its price tag. Just an absolutely brilliant pen. So I keep it handy because I have so much affection for it. Waterman's also the only brand of non-fountain pen I have, and they're roller balls. I keep some Watchman Expert roller balls around. Why do I keep these? 2 reasons. It's not sacrilege, my friends. There's 2 very important reasons. The first one is anytime I need to write with force. Anytime I need to put it in copies and a shipping label, something like that. And the other more important time and more often is when I lend a pen to someone. I always have a Watchman Expert standing by. So I keep one here. I have one in my meeting book for work, and I have one in my desk at work. So that's the pen you would get if you asked me for a pen. So I see Alexandra Richardson's here. She says, I love my Watchman. They're fantastic fountain pens. They really are. Really great pens. Okay. So some things happened while we were away. You may have noticed we hit 20,000, which is pretty exciting. As we've said, very, very fun. The other thing that happened is some videos came out. Some interesting ones that we didn't have a chance to really talk about. And first of all, it was my top 5 snob-proof fountain pens. That video was a lot of fun to make. Total blast to think about, write the script, and to film. And I'm glad it had a really nice reception. Looks like a lot of you guys really enjoyed that, which I really appreciated. Really appreciated very much. Oh, I see some people got some pens for Christmas. I'm going to look here. I can't put it up. It's a long comment, but David Pearson's got a 376 Platinum for Christmas, a 149. Yes, good job. MB 146. Geez, so many pens, my friends. A Pelican M800. Wow, good job. You did very, very well. I actually did not. I didn't get any pens for Christmas. I was very, very good. Hey, Obs, thank you so much, my friend. Nice to see you here. Thank you for that. Congratulations. I was very, very, very good. Not a single pen for Christmas. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So the top 5 snob-proof fountain pens video came out, and you guys reacted very well to that, which I appreciated. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. The other thing that came out was my video on historic handwriting, which was a lot of fun. It was on using my handwriting library and how I go to some sources like my Magic of Handwriting book, which is always handy. And this book has all different examples of vintage handwriting that you can explore and copy for style, copy for inspiration. Maybe you're looking for a better... Evidently, I like this page. I have it marked. Looking for a better specific letter. Here's a really nice I in there. Right there. Very nice. So very nice sources for vintage handwriting. However, you don't really need this book. This is a great resource, but you don't really need it. You could always just look at various examples of 18th and 19th century writing, early 20th century writing that are posted online. But it is a nice physical manifestation. Something you can hold on to. But plenty of stuff on screen. By the way, that's Mozart. That's Mozart's right there. Kind of neat. So, very inspirational there. And always keeping my handwriting library close. So, I want to single out Nathan King, my good friend, with a $30 super chat. Congratulations on 20K. The Snob-Proof Fountain Pens video was fun. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your generous support in keeping the lights on. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words and the super chat. You are the best, Nathan. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Ooh, and another very nice, generous super chat by Handmade by Lorelei. $10. Thank you very much. Says, thank you and Happy New Year. Thank you and Happy New Year. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for your generosity and kindness. So historic handwriting was a super fun video, and I think we'll see more of those going forward. We're going to talk a little bit about that as the night goes on. And then another thing that happened was the great fountain pen ink purge, where I went through my collection of fountain pens and I singled out those that were going to be rehomed and passed on to other people and whatnot. And that process is now done. That all happened back in, I think I filmed that in the middle of October. So that is all done. And it wasn't done well enough, though, to be honest. I think I still hold on too tightly, too closely to things. Now, part of that is that I'm thinking, oh, I may need that one day to film. And I would hate to have to rebuy something or try to find something if I want to film with it at some point. So that is part of the reason why I hold on to things. But another is that I just get caught up in their themes, and I start thinking, oh, I could film with that or something. I think I need to let go of some more. So I'm probably not going to film it this time, but I'm probably going to get rid of everything by half. I think I probably decimated it. Maybe a closer title would have been The Great Fountain Pen Decimation, because I probably got rid of maybe 10-15% of my inks, and I need to get rid of more. So, but I tried, and it was an important first step. So it's all about steps, right? Sometimes you can't go all in. So there you have it. Okay. And of course, we had Alexandra, Art and Sanity, on the live show, the last live show of last year, which we had a very nice conversation. And then I went on her show, and I hope I was an okay guest. I really do. I had a blast. Everyone was so nice. Everyone's so nice there, which I really appreciated. And I certainly did my best to be entertaining. So there we have it. Allie J brings up a good topic that we can talk about a little bit. Who else buys inks for their names? I certainly do. I mean, when you think about it, inks are like pigments in a suspension. Is it a suspension or a solution? I'm sure these more science-minded folks out there could answer that for me. But they're basically, liquid pigments that you draw with. Without a theme, they're not animated. That's why when it's just Pilot Blue, your association with it is everything Pilot brings to the table. But if it's like Varenjul's Hamlet, well, geez, now you can do something with that. It's much more of a narrative, And then I feel like some companies are more narrative than they are useful in a way. Like Ferris Wheel Press, which I like to pick on, but fantastic marketing, beautiful packages, just beguiling packaging, totally magical. But so many of their colors are so light, they're lost. But they always have great names. I feel like you could probably put a bunch of random words together and it would sound like Ferris Wheel Press ink names. It's just like, Magic Mushroom Yellow, or, Toxic Briefcase Red. It's just kind of, but they make it happen. It's very magical, but it doesn't always work for me. I'm more drawn in by things like, Call of the Cthulhu. Now I'm paying attention. Or Achilles. Achilles is always something that will grab me by the lapels and shake me. I love a good literary reference. Rick Harsh with a super chat. Rick Harsh. What does Rick Harsh have to say tonight with a generous super chat? Well, I retired at the beginning of this year. Congratulations, Rick. Way to go. Spent 31 years in policing. Wow, double congratulations. That is a lot of time protecting all of us, so thank you. So I bought a gift. I bought myself a Visconti Homo Sapien fountain pen. You, my friend, have chosen wisely. Wisely. Rick Harsh with a really generous super chat from Canada. Thank you so much. Visconti Homo Sapiens is a next level fountain pen. It doesn't get, I would say it doesn't get the attention it deserves, but it probably gets about the right amount of attention because it also shoots itself in the foot by having such terrible quality control, which is really unforgivable in a major brand, if you think about it. However, I am really tempted by the new Viscontis that are coming out. So I'll talk about that in a bit as well. That is very, very tempting indeed. LEJ, I'm looking hard at a Varanjoul Mad Hatter. Who would blame me? Certainly not I. Because I would start thinking of all that Alice in Wonderland associations and what kind of video I could make. A lot of this channel is really based on the narratives that I can form based on these amazing objects. And I think one of the amazing things about pens in general is that they have so many associations. They fit in so many different frameworks. They're just sort of the linchpin that is running through or the basis of or the axis of so many different areas, from writers to film to literature, just so many different things. I've said it on my channel many times that from the fountain pen you can go anywhere, and you truly, truly can. And I think that's why fountain pens will always be such a major theme to me as a person, and of course as the center and focus of this channel. Even though it's sort of the sun and there are satellites that go around it, there's journaling, there's mental health, there's inks and journals, and of course the odd scrap of clothing or a pocket knife or watch or something else that might grab my attention as well. So, but always sort of curated for you guys. So I think whatever I give to you, I think you'll like. I hope. Oh, Michael Rowley. Michael Rowley with a 1999 super chat. 20 for 20. Congrats. Thank you. Poor Michael Rowley, who didn't get thanked for a super chat the last time we met. So very nice of you to do it again. So very generous guy. The story behind that is I really work hard to acknowledge everyone who is nice enough to support this channel, and I appreciate it, and it does help quite a bit. And when I reinvest into the channel, it's very nice that you guys are a big part of that, and I just thank you so much. Michael was so generous last time. He I believe it was $100 toward the end of the show, I believe, and somehow I missed it. It's actually part of the reason why you see me being very, very paranoid and looking at the comments right now, is I just don't want to miss anybody else. But he's such a good sport and such a nice guy. I got immediately in touch with him after the show, and he said, don't worry about it. I did it for you, not for public accolade. So I appreciated that. It was very, very nice. Kaylee says, HJ can send me all his green rejects. I love green inks. I don't. I really don't. I'm thinking, I saw someone asked, and I lost it, so forgive me, but someone in the chat, Kaylee, asked if there were any green inks that I like. And there's really very few. There's one I can see in my imagination, but I forget the name. And it was the one I spoke about in the video, and it's a Japanese ink that's green. And then there's one of the Arashizuku inks that's greenish, bluish green. But I can't think of a single other one that I really like. Even the J. Urban Vert Green, I'm not a big... That's redundant, right? Vert Green. I'm not that enamored with. I don't know what it is. Green doesn't speak to me for whatever reason. Though somewhat ironically, and this is something I should also bring you guys up to speed on, I am finally doing some home renovations, which is super exciting. So I've lived in this house with my wife for 10 years now, and we have done very, very little cosmetically to the house. Now, sometimes it's just how it goes, but I mean, the house is still beige for the most part. It's still all the painter primer ink almost, if you will. So I started to pick a palette, and I'm starting to paint and put some wallpaper in some spots we've chosen. But we're going to start with the library, and I'm super excited. And we're probably going to do it not this weekend, but next weekend. Maybe this weekend if it snows or something. But I have the paint. It's here, and I have the primer, and I need to put everything into the center of the room. Now, these stay. I'm not going to take these out. I'm going to paint around them. And painting up top, I have no idea how I'm going to do that. I was almost thinking of maybe just doing the one wall, like an accent wall, but I just feel like I need to paint the rest. Maybe I won't paint this wall, but I probably will, but I need to paint above it. But anyway, the color I picked is Faro and Ball Pigeon, which is sort of a grayish blue green. So it's sort of gray, and then depending on the light and the time of day, it reflects blue or green. It has a lot of rich color, a lot of natural pigments. And the reason I chose Faro and Ball is because they're very high quality inks, but they also don't have I think it's VOS. You guys probably know this better than I. So it doesn't have the VOSs that is that toxic quality that a lot of substances give off, and we've been very careful in this house. All our cleaning supplies are all like natural cleaning supplies and all that, just enhancing our daughter's health, you know. So I don't necessarily want to come in with super toxic paint. So this kind of designer, it's kind of expensive paint, but when I heard that it doesn't have this VOS, which is bad to breathe in for you evidently, I decided that I may as well use it, especially since my home is modest. It's not that expensive to buy, so slightly expensive paint is not going to make a difference. So in some of the shots though, where I pan around or whatever, shortly, probably in a few months, because I always post ahead, you'll see a painted library, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to do the work myself. I want to do it myself. I was thinking that would be fun, so I'm really excited about it. And then I'm going to pick another room and just move around the house. So I'm very, very excited. I'm also very excited to see a super chat by One Bashar, 1999. Thank you very much. He says, "Congrats on the 20,000 milestone. Last year was my birth year, born in 1962, and I'm 62 years old. So I treated myself to a few fountain pens. On a serious note, thank you for sharing your passion with the rest of us. Cheers, Sean." Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the generous support, for helping to keep the lights on, and for your kind comment. I really appreciate it. And happy birthday. Happiest of birthdays. That is super fun indeed. Birthdays go quickly, don't they? Okay, thank you. So, painting the library. And then the other thing I'm going to do is we're going to do something in the bedroom. And the bedroom has really high ceilings. They're about, gosh, how high are the ceilings in the bedroom? I don't want to over-exaggerate, but I would say I have to stand on something that's like 5 feet. My wingspan's probably 7 feet. No, I'm 6'2". I can probably reach another 9 feet. So my ceilings have to be 14 feet tall. So that's going to be exciting. I'm not sure if it's going to be paint or what, but that's coming next. That's really exciting. Okay, sorry, you probably don't want to hear about my home projects, but I'll tell you why I'm talking about that in the in and out section, which I'm about to get to. Just very exciting. Lady Mank says, you could paint the inside of bookcases. I did that. Looks great. Green, of course. I could do that, but I'd have to take them down to do that, to do it right. So I probably won't do that, but you're right. I could. But you'd really have to lay these down and slide out the back panel and then paint it and then slide it back in. Otherwise, you'd have to paint each individual box. It probably would get on the shelves, and I am not that crafty, my friend. Aris Aurelian says classic library color. Thank you. You know, I was debating. I almost did a burgundy. I thought a burgundy would be nice, and especially with the painting. You know, the big green painting. Do you guys know the big green painting that I have? I wish I could show you, but I can't. Actually, maybe I can, but in a sort of way. Let me see. Let me see if my second camera wants to work. You know how Ecamm is. Yeah. Oh, look at that. All right. Do you see that painting in the middle there, the green one? So I don't know if you can tell, but that is quite a large painting. It is, I think it's about 5 feet high and maybe 5 feet or so across. And it's greenish with some grays, and there's like 3, I guess they're nude figures. Ooh, very scandalous. So that painting I bought at auction from Bonhams. And the funny part was that I didn't look at its dimensions. And I thought it was a painting that was like this and would look nice on the wall somewhere. And it ended up that we had to rent a van to get it home. So I actually really love it. But I need to take that off. And I thought burgundy would look really nice behind it. But I decided to go with the grayish green. Okay, I am talking entirely too much about this. So I want to tell you about this week's video, okay? So this week's video is about an EDC fountain pen that captures the soul, the essence, the history of Venice, of the Venetian Republic, of the Serenissima, of that lovely jewel of the Adriatic, where I recently was and got to film with this incredible EDC fountain pen in a beautiful setting. So I have been saving some of the B-roll just for this video. You get a history lesson on Venice, of course, and you get some facts about the engineering of how Venice was built. I actually created a graphic for better or worse showing how Venice is built. I think you'll enjoy that. And I'm really proud of this video, and that's this Thursday. It's very niche. I don't expect large amounts of people to watch it because it's very niche, but I do think all of you will, because I think you guys like the niche-y, nerdy things that I do. And I'll never change. I can't create boring videos. I have to make them interesting for you guys and different. So I think you'll like it. And let me know what you think when it comes out, because I am really excited to share it with you. It's very personal to me too, this video. And usually the ones that are personal do terrible. So, and then I get all sad. I do get sad sometimes when people don't like them. But I don't expect you guys to like everything either. Allie J does, though. Allie J is such a great support. Thank you, Allie J. I really appreciate it. Oh, David Black is a fan of Venice. He's going to watch it, I am sure. So very, very nice. Okay, So we should get to the main topic. Why not? That's what we're here for. And I just thought it'd be fun. I'll give you an idea of how I'm looking at things going ahead. Some of the videos that are coming up, there's no huge major change to what's coming, except that my editing is much better, I think. You've seen some teasers of what I've learned. I've been working really hard in some of my videos that were posted at the end of last year, and some of the ones that are about to launch. You're going to see a little bit more polish, another coat. I think as we go along, I learn more, and I put another coat of polish on the video. So I think you'll enjoy it, because I think if they're visually stunning, it helps us support the subject matter. Wolfgate Witch says, "Don't be sad. Haters are going to hate." You're not wrong about that. They are. They're very dedicated. I'm dedicated to making good videos for you guys. There are a lot of people that are just dedicated on hating everything I put up, which I'll tell you a little bit about that too, because it's in all this, believe it or not. So let's jump into our first topic of what I feel is kind of in and out for me this year and for this channel. I think that would be interesting. So let's see. Simply Obs says nice things. Thank you so much. And Obs, Ecamm's working very nicely tonight. It's behaving. So I'm very happy. Ecamm and I, we don't get along very well all the time. Okay. So what is in? What is in for the Hemingway Jones channel this year? Well, the emphasis on history, on legacy, on where a pen came from, and not just how it writes. I'm really doubling down on as much history and facts about a fountain pen that I can share with you guys. In research, in thinking about it, I've been buying more books on it, just really getting in to the history of an item. And not only that, but also the designers, Gerd Mueller and Wolfgang Fabian and the folks that design these pens. I really want to celebrate them. I just did a video that's going up, I think at the end of February, which really focuses on a certain pen and its design, and what makes it so compelling and interesting, and how it fits into the context of the time period in which it was born. And I think you guys will really, really like this video, and videos like it. And within this video, there's something that has been staring us in the face about this fountain pen that no one seems to talk about. And I don't think many people have looked at it this way, and I've never seen anyone reference this. It's sort of like when I showed the pen holder on the Jaeger ink bottles. I never really saw anybody else talk about that. My second camera really wants to connect. I feel bad because I connected it, so it's making a little noise. I'm gonna put it under my hiney, so maybe it'll quiet it down. But the Jaeger pen holder on the bottle, it's fun to popularize these lesser knowns. It's not like I invented it; they invented it, but it doesn't get enough notice or attention. Well, there's something about this fountain pen that I'm speaking about, and this is a tease for something that's going to happen in a very long time. So I apologize for that, but believe me, when you see it, you're going to be like, of course he's right about that. Why didn't I think of that? Because once I thought of it, I was like, why didn't I think of that sooner? So I think you're going to like it. I'm going to dig really deep for things like that. I'm trying to make it very, very interesting to really get into the details and the design and to celebrate the designers, because a lot of the designers on fountain pens are lost. Or they're designed by committee, or just no one remembers, or they're not celebrated. And it's kind of sad, because in a lot of other areas, the designers are really in the forefront in automobile design, in watch design, not so much in fountain pen design. I mean, Dante Del Vecchio, of course, that guy's a superstar. And I haven't really done a lot on him. I should probably maybe I'll donate a video to him. No, I'll dedicate a video to him and what he's done, which would be interesting. Maybe his history. Who knows? That would be super fun. So that is very, very much in on this channel this year. This deep dive into each pen and designer just to celebrate them and get them out there as much as I can with my little tiny voice here on the channel. So that is very much in. All right. This one I can kind of confess to all of you. What is very much out on this channel is using cheap paper just because I find it romantic. And I've done this several times where either someone gives me a book and I like the look of it, or or I buy it because I like the look of it. And I'll give you for instance. I mean, I brought this to Rome and Florence and Venice because it's so pretty. Look at this. It says Rome and there's these like fans of color and it's just pretty and I just really liked it. And it had stickers. I could write and put little stickers in there. It was so fun. And I drew birds. In here. And that was all fun. But like I drew a nice column there. I think it looks like a column. And then there's also a column there. So yeah, no more cheap paper. I don't know how much I regret this. I mean, this performed a function. It's still pretty cool. I mean, it's almost all the same ink, almost exclusively. This guy says, ciao. But like, look at that. Yeah, no more cheap paper, guys. Just because I find it romantic. Life's too short for crummy paper. All right, I have to show you this. So I drew this light in Venice and my daughter wrote all that stuff there. We were writing back and forth to each other while we were waiting for my wife. It was so cute. My daughter's so cute, guys. So anyway, yes, very much out on this channel. Who is the character? Actually, she was a real person. She was an actress with the wire hangers, right? No wire hangers. And so for me, it's like, no cheap paper. No cheap paper. Okay, very much out. In is an emphasis on an exquisite writing experience for something unique and expressive and different. That if I buy a pen this year and add it to my collection, it's going to be because there's something about it that really speaks to me, that compels me to use it. I'm trying not to buy pens for the channel to do a video, but that's tempting too. It's very, very, very tempting. But I want to curate my collection. And in curating my collection, I have to curate my wants and desires. Or else every pretty shiny thing I must have. But then I also can't limit myself by what I'm going to make a video on, which I frequently do. I often say to myself, well, I can't film with that fountain pen, so why buy it for $300 if I can't really film with it? Because I'm always thinking for the channel and for myself. But I think I miss a lot. I miss a lot of things I want. And the reason why I say I can't film with something is sometimes I buy things and it's way past when they came out. And the way that YouTube works is if you're not the first or the first couple of videos on a pen, nobody cares. They've already seen it. And it doesn't matter all the history and things. Most people don't even know that this channel offers that. So they never get far enough to look at the video to realize, oh, hey, there was a whole nother world here I could have seen. They did get to see it right, every brown fox does fine and all that, which I'm sure was incredibly interesting for them. But they didn't get the history, they didn't get the beautiful cinematography, they missed the narrative, the thrust of why someone would choose that fountain pen. But by then it's too late. Except in my lists. You can put things in lists. But I need to be less driven by that alone, which I often am. I don't, for whatever reason, I just am. Oh, thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. I just saw a whole bunch of thumbs going up, so I guess you guys really dig that I am trying to buy for me. Trying to. So another out is Yovo Nib. Just another Yovo Nib delivery device pen. I know that's kind of mean, but when you write with a lot of pens and you're thinking about them critically, and then you get a pen, you look at it, and it's another Schmidt nib, it's another Yovo nib. You get, actually, Schmidt nibs kind of excite me a little because there's fewer of them. But Yovo, it's like, unless it's tweaked or decorated, it gets boring. It gets boring for me. Matter of fact, there's a video coming up that has one of those, and I really like the pen, and I talk about it. And then I say something along the lines of, what can I say about a Schmidt nib that you don't already know? Because you know it. If you're watching this video, you probably know it. So it's one of those. Now, on the positive side, those nibs are like ETA movements, where if there's a problem, you can simply swap it out easily. So there's a positive side to it as well. But it gets a little monotonous when you're delving into the history and the different exquisite natures of fountain pens. You want a different nib. You want something that's offering you something. Maybe that's just me. Okay, here's another thing that's in. I'm buying fountain pens again. I know. I said I wouldn't, that I'd hold out until the Montblanc Wes Anderson fountain pen comes this spring, but I just think it's too long. I don't think I can hold out that long. I haven't bought anything. But there's a few things I really want. One of them is for the channel, and it's a Visconti Commedia. Because I could do such a video with a Visconti Commedia. With Inferno references, with Dante. I could just do the video. But the other side of me says it's too late now because it's out. And whomever is going to just... those that just review pens, which I don't consider myself really a pen reviewer. I'm a teller of tales that uses fountain pens to tell them. I've lost my window with that pen. But I'd still like to do it for me, for what it would do for me, to be able to speak of Dante. That would be super fun. So I haven't bought fountain pens, but I would. And that's one. The other one, I'm still on the fence, but I'm so not really on the fence, is the Watchman Reflection of Paris Caran, which I just want so badly. Even though it is another pen I can't film with because it's old news. And people, actually people don't really do a lot on Waterman. Maybe that one would be fun. Who knows? Paul David, my dear friend, hello, has the Inferno pen and loves it. Now, I'm guessing, Paul, that it's a lot like the Mythos, which is a very nice pen. But truth be told, I've barely touched, which is another reason why I am hesitating to buy it. But it would be very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Oh, this is so nice. Sorry, I was reading this. I got lost for a minute. Eris Aurelian with it doesn't matter what order they are released. It is all about the proper manner they are presented, and we still need a Hemingway Jones version. That's very, very kind. I do appreciate that. But it's funny. This is how I think. And you guys know I'm always torturing myself. Always torturing myself. So one of the things that's really funny is that there are people who send me stuff through email. There is a person who just sends me random things. It's really like they're curating different topics for me, which is very interesting. There's somebody else who sends me like fountain pen related stuff. There's somebody who sends me any mention of me they find online as screenshots, and most of those are critical, but they send them to me for some reason. And for some reason I look at them, and I really shouldn't. You shouldn't ever really look at your critics. But I'm really surprised at how misunderstood I am by my critics, who think I'm this like posh elitist who is a snob and only is into expensive pens, and thinks that I'm better than everyone else and all this. And they just have no idea of the like constant editing and self-loathing and the internal battles I have over everything. They just miss all that, or maybe they don't watch any of the mental health stuff that I do. But it's fascinating. And one of the other things that I find really fascinating about it when I do see that stuff, see, like a man saying block him, but you see, the thing is, I don't think this person means any harm by it. They're just kind of a character, and they just send it. Yeah, one of the comments, the person said that I am a phony and that I'm a voice actor, and that they found my voice actor page and it had all the different voices I could do, which is really kind of cool. I kind of like that somebody thinks that. It's bizarre. I kind of wish I were. Can you imagine making up a persona and picking this one? Like, I'm going to invent a character and this is what I come up with. If I were to invent a character, I'd be much cooler than this. And I mean, maybe that's a backhanded compliment in a way, that I'm a voice actor, because I think my voice is terrible. It's one of the things I obsess over so much. My pronunciation, my just kind of, speech impediment with the THs and some of the other words I have really hard time with. The fact that this person thinks I'm a voice actor, it's fascinating. I'd be sort of like Stephen Toast, if you know who Stephen Toast is. I'd be like, yes, arm the nuclear missiles. Okay, let's get to some more ins and outs. More videos on handwriting and journaling. Yes, I have a new journaling video written, ready to go. I need to produce it. That's coming up soon. I have a new idea for a handwriting video. I'll do that soon. I like those. I need to take some breaks from my production schedule, because a lot of what I do, guys, these high concept videos with these 4-second cuts are a lot of work, and they take a lot out of me. And then sometimes if I put one out and it doesn't do well, and inevitably something doesn't do well, but then I get disenfranchised and I just want to stop the whole enterprise for a few hours or days. But if I do some of those and some more kind of easier for me to film, but you guys like them just as much, our handwriting videos and things, it helps. It helps to make my productivity smoother and easier on me. So I'm going to do more handwriting stuff. So look forward to that. Allie J can't get enough. Allie J's kind of, often I make videos for Allie J. Allie J doesn't know that, but she is my target audience. When I'm making it to someone, it's Allie J. Just so you know. Okay. Yes, in a strong point of view as my main differentiator. So I will never tone down who I am. I am always going to double down on this nerdy guy that you all know. And by the way, to anyone who is maybe hate watching this show, and if you're hate watching this show, please comment, because I'd love to hear from you too. But be sure to like. You can still like it, and even if you hate, comment me. But anyone who's met me knows me well enough that this is me. It's kind of just who I am. But I am going to double down on more revelations, more mental health things, more just kind of more of the character that I am as a person. So that it is the major differentiator. The one thing that no other channel can ever be is my point of view. And I think as you get to know someone and their likes and their peculiar tendencies and things, you can really base a lot on how I feel about something, because you know historically how I've reacted to things. So I think you'll enjoy that. Karen McLean says, dedicated hate watchers should at least become members, sincerely. Or at least subscribe. So if you're a dedicated hate watcher, please subscribe. I'd love to have you in this journey too. I feel like I could turn people eventually. So a bit more about that. And along the same lines, another in is that I'm going to try to share a little bit more about myself so that there aren't so many characterizations of me out there. It would just be nice to share a little more like my library renovation and all that. So that would be super fun. Pamela Snyder says, honestly, I thought you were all about expensive pens until I fully watched your content. You love Mont Blanc and the Edson for sure, but you also champion the lesser expensive pens. Non-copies. Non-copies indeed. And I'm philosophically opposed to non-copies. So yes, but thank you for saying that. That's very kind. There's channels, I've watched channels and not liked the person, and then they won me over. I watch a lot of watch content, and that's happened. In libraries, reading, research, kind of want to push back against anti-intellectualism. I feel like there is a real strong thread of anti-intellectualism out there, that anyone who reads is pretentious, or anyone who links something to something else knows anything or tries to know anything. Because I've never made any claims that I'm the smartest person in the world. I just am curious, and I like to share what I find with people. In fact, in this household, I'm probably the third smartest person, but I'm okay with that. And but I do want to push back on this. I think part of the reason why fountain pens and writing and critical thinking are in recess, certainly in America, is because of this huge strain following of anti-intellectualism, which has been going on now for 2 generations. When you think about who our heroes were in the 1950s and the 60s, they were just fearless warriors, people of character, astronauts, and people who invented things. And now our heroes are, movie stars. I guess they were then too, but celebrities and influencers and things. It seems like, I don't know, if someone were to cure cancer, would they be celebrated as a hero with kids as much as Jonas Salk or someone was? I don't know. But I'd like to bring studying back. I want to make self-education cool again. Let's make self-education cool again, shall we? Another thing I want to say, and I think it sort of fits into anti-intellectualism, is that I want to mourn the loss of Cambridge Typewriter. Cambridge Typewriter is owned by my dear friend Tom Ferrier, who worked on all my machines. I'm really into typewriters. You might not know this, but I am. I even know how to fix them a little bit. Tom taught me quite a bit. I know most typewriter models from Tom. Tom taught me tons of stuff. He guided me to some research. That's why you see a lot of, actually this side, Royal P's, Royal P Royal P typewriters, some of the best machines. Tom Ferrier introduced it to me about a decade ago. Lovely, lovely guy. Well, he has done very well, has a fantastic business, and he retired. Tried to sell his business, and no one would take it. So now it is closing, and it's truly the end of an era. Tom is very known in the typewriter world, and I just want to say publicly, he may never see this, but I love you, Tom. Appreciate everything you did for this world and for having your shop, and I wish you all the best in retirement. I know I'll see you, but it won't be the same. I'll miss that smell of oil and ink that was in your shop and all the beautiful machines everywhere. One Pasha says, $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Trying to get bogged down, distracted by what others say. It's good to be in touch and aware, but it's best not to allow it to weigh you down. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It weighs me down for like a day. No, not even a day. Like 15 minutes. I have very thick skin, so it really doesn't. What does bother me is you guys. If you guys don't like something, and I miss the mark sometimes. I'm ambitious. Say I was ambitious, sure, and I grievously hath I answered for it. But sometimes I reach for something, I don't quite grasp it. But that's okay. I'm going to double down on that too. It's all part of the process, my friends. It really is. So, it's going to be an exciting year. There's great videos coming up. I'd appreciate you guys if you subscribe, if you're watching and you haven't. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments. You guys really lift me up by all your kindness each week, and I appreciate that. This week's video, I think you're really going to like, and it's a really interesting expose of Venice based on one EDC fountain pen that really encapsulates the entire story of this amazing city. So I think you're going to enjoy it. Nathan King says you're not going to grow if you don't make mistakes. It's true. It's true. And I'm always trying to do better, always trying to make more interesting video. So there you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are at the end. I'm very pleased my voice didn't give out. I did have to mute myself a few times. I think you noticed that. But I didn't want to cough in your ear. I thought that'd be impolite. But I'm actually feeling better. This is kind of the backside of being sick. So don't worry about me. I am on the mend. So, what can I say? Here we are at the end. Thank you so much for watching. And I can promise you we'll see each other again the day after tomorrow when I release a new video at noon on Thursday, which I think you guys will adore. So let me know what you think about that. And I'll see you next Tuesday night. So until then, do take care of yourselves. Stay writing, stay inspired, stay strong, stay in touch. And I can promise you we'll see each other further up the road. So take care of yourself and have a wonderful new year.